Because we might even be able to stem some infamy from it. People will be like, "This is stupid." And you'll be like, "Just like you," and
Yep.
insult them. That'd be
Okay, so I guess if we can go over one of the things I do: chaos training, earthquake training, ballistic training, all for different purposes. But I'm a big user of bands, and so maybe I can show people what a chaos bar is, how to make a chaos bar.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
That'd be perfect. All right, so let me get you in frame, and then you do what you need to do. All right.
All right. So I've been getting asked questions about programming and training styles and the different kinds of stuff that I do that makes it unique. So today I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite stability training exercises, and that is how to build a chaos bar. Now, a chaos bar, they do actually have them pre-made for you. They are rather expensive. So for like $300 to $400, you can buy yourself a Rogue bamboo bar. A bamboo bar literally is made out of bamboo. It's very flexible. When you add weights to the end of it, the bar bends, right? And so whenever you oscillate weights off of it, it bends even more and bounces on you. So I'm gonna teach you guys today how to do this. I would recommend that if you are doing this, one, you always have a spotter with you. Two, that you have all the proper equipment to set it up correctly, because without it, you can really hurt yourself doing chaos training. This is something that we used to do in collegiate strength and conditioning. We did a lot with our athletes, but I'm gonna show you guys that today. So what you're gonna need is just any bar. You could use a safety bar, you could use a multi-grip bar. We're just gonna use just a typical utility bar today, made by Bars of Steel, or Bells of Steel, I'm sorry. Apologize for that. Bells of Steel makes this. It's a great, just multi-purpose utility bar. So what we're going to do here is you want to make sure that we're getting some bands, and make sure that your bands are even. The tension in the band being exactly the same is going to be very important. So I like to come over here, and interestingly enough, the lighter the band tension, the more oscillation you're going to receive. So if I use the thicker band, I don't get nearly as much oscillation. There's way too much tensile strength within the band, and it's not going to bounce as much. So smaller bands will give you more chaos, essentially. So what we're going to do here is we're going to find a weight. Now, on the weight bar, you can really set these up anywhere on the end of the barbell here. But the further out we go, the more oscillation we're going to get, right? The further in we go, a little bit less we get. Plus, it kind of clamps against the rack if you have a rack like this. So what I like to do is I like to get myself my clamps, right? And I actually set myself up an area that my band is going to hang from. So I like to put it at the end of the bar. So I'll just set it up one up here. I like to just measure it with my fingers. I just put another one right there. It doesn't have to be perfect. The closer you can get to it, the better, obviously. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to take your band. Now, the thing about this is you do have to change how you wrap your weight that you're going to have oscillating on the side of the bar based off of what lift you're doing. So, for example, if I'm doing shoulder press, I can have it dangling pretty far. The more length you have on the band, the more it will bounce. But if I'm doing bench and I'm closer to the ground, I don't want it touching the floor, so I am going to have to choke up on it. So, for example here, if I were to go ahead, pull some kettlebells here. Kettlebells are great weights for it. You can use weight plates, you can use dumbbells. Just make sure whenever you band it up that it's well secured. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wrap this dumbbell here 2-3 times, just depends on the length that you want. Make sure your bands are even here. We're going to pick it on up, and I'm going to put one side of my band on one side of this clamp and one on the other. If you have multiple clamps, what you can actually do is put them together and then put one more clamp here. But right now I only have one clamp with me. The rest of my equipment hasn't arrived yet, so these are the ones that I brought from home. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing over here on this side. Now, what I am showing you guys is just how to set up the chaos oscillation portion of it. If you're wanting added resistance onto this, there are so many other things we can do. We can add chains on here. We can add just your typical plates and slide them all the way inside before we add these clamps. But I am just showing you how to build the oscillative part of it. So if you wanted to put on some 25s, 45s, whatever you want inside of here just to add more weight, you can do that as well. hanging, and I wrap each one 3 times. You always want to back up and make sure that they're relatively even. I think this side, I might even choke up one more time on it. Just looks a little bit long. Relatively even. Okay, so guys, now that we have this set up, what you need to understand about an oscillative bar is that it is not linear resistance anymore. This is going to shake, it's going to pull all sorts of different directions, and that's the purpose of it. Understand that with less stability comes less power. With more stability comes more power. So by taking away the stability of the weight, we are having to increase the control of it, and therefore once we have an actual solid weight, we're able to apply more force to the bar, okay? That is the science behind it. So this is one way that you can set up chaos, just by having an oscillative bar like this. So come up. As you can see here, weight's bouncing on each side. It's uneven, I do have to stabilize it. When I dip and I drive, the weight's bouncing, and it doesn't stay completely still, so you're having to stabilize it. So just working through the range of motion. Push press, you can do standing presses. Right here, you're able to feel all of that oscillating movement, having to stabilize it through your core, through your legs. It turns into a full body complex movement. It's amazing. Great way to increase the intensity of any compound lift. Another thing that you're able to do, and I'm not recommending this unless you are very confident in yourself, and once again, make sure you have a spotter. As you can see, I don't necessarily have one here, but I'm also not playing with a lot of weight, and I've done this before. Another option that you have is to destabilize, sorry, that was loud, is to destabilize the surface upon which you're standing on, right? So if I were to take this and decide I was gonna stand on a Bosu ball, while also lifting this, you're able to see how the oscillative moves my balance on my feet, and how I'm having to engage and control much more to be able to complete the lift, right? Once again, this is very dangerous. This is the kind of shit that you see on, I'm sorry, excuse my language. This is the kind of stuff that you see on YouTube, of dumb stuff you see on TV, but what you have to understand is that there is a purpose to this, right? While it may seem ridiculous, there is a purpose to this. This is much more elite level theoretical training, but we are gaining a level of stability and balance here by doing these two together than you really can anywhere else. But this is, I consider to be an elite movement. You do need to have good control over the bar. This is not something that you just want to throw someone who's never done this on before. But that is how we build chaos, earthquake, or oscillative training bars.
Nice. Perfect. I'm gonna be able to break that one up into like a multi-part series. Because for Instagram, you know, they like short.
Didn't know how. Sorry, there was a lot of little cutaways where I was like, and you don't have to do it like this. I was just like trying to like.
Well, the more thorough you are, the more people can learn. So,
that sounded okay?
Yeah, that sounded perfect.
Not super great at talking on TV, but I just try to imagine I was just talking to you personally. So.
Well, you were good. I mean, it came through loud and clear for me personally.
I was also like, damn, I only have one clamp. I was like, I really prefer other people use two, but you can't do it this way.
But the nice thing is you did address that. So.
Oh, no, this does not go there. It's some blue stuff. Good crunch. Oh, sorry.
Oops. Hello, Userman. This is hot. What's hot? Userman thinks you're hot. It's all about balance. Big part of it. Coach, you ever tried jujitsu?
Yes, I had about 4 years of jiu-jitsu. It's a lot of fun. Great sport.
Don't look at this message. I need to know. Oh. They have a gay neighbor that looks like you, according to Pickles.
It's great.
All right. So, well, I'm glad that we're hot. Let's keep it rolling. Okay. So that's a good one. That was a multi-part series. Honestly, if we get one more of those, and I break them into multi-part series, because that's a strategy that TikTok and Instagram use, where they're like, here's part of this, and then you end on a part where they're like, wait, what? You go to the next one, and it just increases like more views per video.
Okay, I know a super popular one. I don't know if this is actually popular or not, but something that I have seen a lot of people wanting to learn how to do is how to properly do toes to bar repetition. A lot of people don't fully understand that. They have a big issue with the sway. So I'll show you what I mean. We have a little pull-up bar here. Move the BOSU back to where it goes. All right. So another common thing. This has actually just been the last 2 weeks. I've probably pulled 3 or 4 people aside from the gym just to help them out with it, seeing that they're struggling with it. One common thing that people really love to do, they love doing hanging abdominal workouts. So toes to bar, windshield wipers, all those sorts of things. But one thing that happens really commonly is people can't seem to get the swing under control, right? So you're up here, you're trying to go toes to bar, and you're going up, and then you come back, your feet swing back here, and you're not able to go yet. It gets hard, right? This is actually just a simple misunderstanding of how to utilize the momentum and the kick in this, all right? So first things first. First rule is when we bring our feet down from the toes to bar, okay, we are not just letting them swing all the way down. That's a pendulum, and that's going to take our momentum this way. You don't let your feet fall behind you. So just imagine that there is a wall from this height down, okay? When I bring my feet down, I'm actually going to bring them down at this angle. I'm not going to let them swing down. I'm going to actually shoot my feet down at an angle like this in front of me. From there, my body hits a full extension, my shoulders go this way, and then I will actively pull and allow my body to get back here while my feet go up. And it turns into a repetitive motion like this. But my feet never go behind me. The moment you break that and your feet go behind you, you will lose the proper swing, all right? So I'm here, I go up to go toes to bar, I come down, and I want to shoot them here. Do you guys see how my feet come in front of me? I'm not letting them widely swing like this. That's wrong. You want to shoot them here every single time in front of you. You should be able to see your feet at all times during a toes to bar. Okay? It's going to be kind of hard, but just practice shooting them here. When you shoot them forward, our shoulders go into full extension, and then as soon as we're able to, as soon as we're about to pull back this way, our feet come up with it. All right? Give that a shot for yourselves.
Very nice. Couple 2-part series, maybe 1 or 2 graphic designs. We'll be good. Maybe a couple of announcements. That'll get us plenty of posts this coming week. So, just really hoping that the live stream would take off a little bit more than it was.
That's fine.
Yeah, and it gets hot over time. It's just worried. Oh, yeah, he's just worried. But it's okay if he thinks it's hot too. It's acceptable. One of these days, if I'm over here really late, coming over here in the evening, if you're up here, I know that after 8 p.m. our time, that's when I'll get like 50, 60 people in at one time.
Yeah. Actually, if you wanted to, next week would be a great. We could be in here late next week. This week is going to be a little bit harder, but next week I don't have. There's like a client that I train every other week.
Yeah.
We go 2 days every other week, and so I'll have him twice this week, but then next week I won't, and he's always in the evenings, so I could definitely be here sometime next week. We could do whatever you wanted to. We'll have a lot more of our equipment in as well. It kind of sucks that I don't have a bench here to show a lot of my like supine and prone variations to workouts that I like to do, but we just need some of the other equipment to arrive. And it'd be fun to get the ice baths in. This is propped up. Let me show you guys. We have one of our ice tubs set up here. This is the Thrive Echelon X Pro. So the cool thing about these ice tubs right here is that they lower themselves all the way down to 34 degrees. So you can get a really, really good cold plunge, about as cold as it's gonna get. But at the same time, right, we're gonna be able to heat this up to 106 degrees for a warm bath. The other one hasn't been set up yet. As you can see, I got it sitting here. And then we will be putting in our infrared sauna here once it gets delivered to us. So that'll be really exciting as well, just being able to get your hard workout in and come in and then get your recovery in. Or maybe on one of your off days, you're feeling extra sore, feeling like you're not gonna be up for a good PR, we can always put you into the therapy right before your session as well. So yeah, guys, I am excited. Sit you right back down right there.
That's the awkward part about lives is you're talking to someone who can't physically talk back.
It'd be cool if they had like a little screen that popped up, like someone wanted to like request being live with us.
You can do that from time to time. I just wasn't sure if I'd even be able to get enough people at this time during the day to join in. Hey, KS. But yeah. Usually the indicator of how well live's gonna go is in the first 15 minutes. A lot of it has to do with the thumbnail and the title. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna gamble one last time